Hello, everybody. Snowflake here, and welcome to another episode of Skyrim. In the last episode, we completed the Dragonborn DLC. We did the quest at the Summit of Apocrypha. Now, the majority of that episode was me reading a lot of books because Hermaeus Mora is the Daedric Prince of Knowledge. Therefore, his realm was a haven of knowledge. And we read loads and loads of books and picked up loads of books that we didn't have before. So that was most of the episode, but we worked our way up through the Black Book, Waking Dreams, beating all the enemies, solving all the puzzles, and eventually we were able to use the Bend Will Shout to take control of a dragon, um, which looked suspiciously like a Blue Eyes White dragon. We rode it in and we used it to kill Mirak eventually. Mirak was using the souls of dragons to replenish his health every time he got low, but eventually he ran out, and we took him down. Well, we didn't take him down. We almost took him down. It was Hermaeus Mora who actually got the final blow by putting a tentacle for his chest, or what looked like a tentacle. And yeah, Mirak was defeated. We are the one true Dragonborn when all was said and done, well, mainly because Hermaeus Mora preferred us to someone who wanted to leave his realm and take over Solstheim. Even though I also went back to the real world, I don't see how that was much more beneficial to Hermaeus Mora, but there we go. But yeah, Hermaeus Mora taught me the final word of power of a Bendwell shout, killing Storm in the process. I used the shout to tame Mirak's dragon and flew to his temple where I fought and killed him. Mirak will never threaten Solstheim again. Alright, yeah, I enjoyed the Dragonborn DLC. It was the first time I'd ever played it. And yeah, I certainly liked a lot of the mechanics in it. I like Mirak. And Solstheim itself is a very interesting place full of unique creatures, unique NPCs, and a bunch of quests that we're still yet to explore. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that later. But for now, we're going to be sticking in good old Skyrim, and we're going to be doing a miscellaneous quest today about this guy, Aventus Aretino. We heard a rumor, it was probably in a tavern somewhere, that this guy had like summoned the Dark Brotherhood for something, this kid, and he was, yeah, he was up to some shady stuff. So we're going to go have a chat with him and see what's up, and see how we can help or dissuade him maybe from hiring a guild of assassins to murder someone, as kids probably should not be doing that. But I'm sure Ayla, if she wants to come with me, will be more than willing to help us with that. Ooh, one thing I wanted to share as well. I don't even know if we're going to be able to see. Okay, cool. We can see me from the front. So I'm wearing Mirak's mask because it's actually way better armor than the chitin helmet of Eminent Alchemy I was using. And the extra 50 points of Magicka, more useful than the Alchemy helmet. And I can just put this on before I create potions anyway. So we're actually wearing Mirak's mask for the foreseeable future. But yeah, we heard that Aventus Aretino was holed up in Windhelm. I can't remember what else we heard about him. I mean, I know a little bit about this quest because I've done it before, but I can't remember what we were told about this quest originally. But we are going to Windhelm. We have been to Windhelm before. Trying to remember why. Oh, right, we probably to talk to Ulfric Stormcloak. To persuade him to join the peace conference, and then after that, to get various quests for the Stormcloaks.
Good to see you again, friend. Every night, I walk.
Oh, you're the racist guy, Rolf, right? Yeah, I don't wanna talk to you.
I'm a sailor on the North Wind. We're laying over in Windhelm for a while. It's good to spend some time.
I think we
on
talked to
solid land.
Voldsea.
A life on the Captain Kiar expects the best, but he's a fair man. He never fails to reward
Hello, Farrell?
Of course working for Bolfrida isn't my first choice. But what else can a Dunmer do out here? My sister and I both work for the Nords. Our brother is ashamed of us, but at least we can afford to eat. Yes. Need something? Need something?
Viola Giordano?
After what happened to those other women, I'm worried about my own safety.
Other women?
Women murdered time and again, and all the guards care about is the war. Yes? Yeah? What?
I was hoping you were going to expand on women dying. Seemed pretty
Need
important. Where was the other guy that was walking around here? You. What were you called? Something once honored?
I once killed 6 men single-handed while rescuing my brothers in arms from ambush by an Imperial patrol.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes?
Need something? Yes. Need something? Need something?
Need something?
Yeah. Wait, where am I going? I lost? Quite possibly. Ah, here we go.
Then it's true, what everyone is saying. That Aventus Aretino is doing the Black Sacrament, trying to summon the Dark
Oh
Brotherhood.
no. Even the kids know.
Always with the nonsense. No, of course not. Those are just tales.
Fine, then I'll invite him out to play. He lives right there. I'm going to knock on his door.
No, child, wait! That boy, that house, they are cursed.
Ha! Then I'm right. I knew it. He's trying to have somebody killed.
These kids are not
I
so
won't
innocent.
deny it, child. What you heard is true. But Aventus Aretino walks a dark path. His actions can lead only
So
to
can no one stop this kid from
Now,
summoning
now.
the Dark Brotherhood?
We will speak no more of this. I am the only friend you need.
I don't know about that, that's a bit weird.
All
Grimvar
our
Cruelty.
brothers at the docks are nice to me. Good thing, too, or father would run them off. Do you know my father? He's really important. He even talks to the Jarl sometimes.
Who's your daddy?
His name is Torsten Krulsi. He's really rich, because he owns a farm called Hollyfrost.
Have we met Torsten? I think we
He told me
have.
once that he wanted me to grow up and be a sailor, because that's where all our family names come from. But I don't want to be a sailor or a farmer. I want to be a warrior, the strongest one ever.
Yeah, good luck being stronger than me, mate.
Bye.
Where'd the other woman go? Wanted to talk to her before I enter. Damn it, she's gone. Okay.
They say dragons are coming back. I want to kill one.
Okay, Grimvar. Whatever you say, bud. Aretina residence, Norwich. So, I don't... What time is it? 10 p.m. Let's wait until the morning and see if it's open. I don't think it will be. Let's check. No. Wait one more hour. Okay. I think we just get in.
Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. Sweet mother, send your child unto
That's
me,
not something you want to
for the
hear your
sins of the
kids say.
unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. Die, Grelod, die!
Yikes.
Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. Sweet mother,
We
send
can
your
just grab the
child
stuff.
unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. Sweet mother,
We're just raiding this
mother,
kid's
send your
house
child unto
while he's summoning the Dark
sins of
Brotherhood.
The unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear.
Ooh, letter from the
Sweet
steward.
mother, sweet
Master Aventus Aretino, Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak wishes to express his deepest sympathies at the death of your mother, Nalia. Okay. Looks like we've got a motive there. Unfortunately, because you are fatherless and have no other known relations, the Jarl cannot allow you to remain in your home unsupervised. Therefore, in no more than a week's time, you are to report to Honor Hall Orphanage in Riften, where you will reside until your 16th birthday. The Aretino family home in the city of Windhelm will, of course, remain your property. The building will be securely locked, don't know about that, and ready for your return 6 years hence. Note that I am unsure of the education provided to you by your recently deceased mother, or if you possess the ability to read the letter I am currently composing. Well, I don't know if you possess the ability to write the letter you're composing. Therefore, a member of the city guard will call upon you in 1 week at your home and provide escort to the orphanage. Hopefully his arrival will not come as a complete shock. With greatest respect, your life, steward to our most noble Jarl, Ulfric Stormcloak.
Father, send your child unto me for the sins of the...
Cabbage healing, a book, The Ransom of Zarek. That doesn't sound too familiar. Alright, a book to read. Gold ring, boots, clothes.
Unworthy must be baptized.
Let us read The Ransom of Zarek. The Ransom of Zarek, Ancient Tales of the Dwemer, Part 1, by Marabar Sul. Talemil stood in her garden and read the letter her servant had brought to her. The bouquet of Joss roses in her hand fell to the ground. For a moment it was as if all birds had ceased to sing and a cloud had passed over the sky. Her carefully cultivated and structured haven seemed to flood over with darkness. We have thy son, it read. We will be in touch with thee shortly with our ransom demands. Zarek had never made it as far as Akkun after all. Akkun, that's a very Turkish-sounding name. One of the brigands on the road, orcs probably, or a cursed Dunmer, must have seen his well-appointed carriage and taken him hostage. Jalhemel clutched at a post for support, wondering if her boy had been hurt. He was but a student, not the sort to fight against well-armed men, but had they beaten him? It was more than a mother's heart could bear to imagine. Don't tell me they sent the ransom note so quickly, called a family voice, and a familiar face appeared through the hedge. It was Zarek. Jalhemel hurried to embrace her boy, tears running down her face. What happened? She cried. I thought thou had been kidnapped. I was, said Zarek. 3 huge soaring Nords attacked by carriage on the Frimvorn Pass. Brothers, as I learned, named Mateus, Ullin, and Korg. Thou should have seen these men, mother. Each one of them would have had trouble fitting through the front door, I can tell thee. What happened? Jalhemel repeated. Wert thou rescued? I thought about waiting for that, but I knew they'd send off a ransom note, and I know how thou dost worry. So I remembered what my mentor at Akkun always said about remaining calm, observing thy surroundings, and looking for thy opponent's weakness. Zarek grinned. It took a while, though, because these fellows were truly monsters. And then, while I listened to them bragging to one another, I realized that vanity was their weakness. What did thou do? They had me chained at their camp in the woods not far from Kale, on a high knoll overlooking a wide river. I heard one of them, Korg, telling the others that it would take the better part of an hour to swim across the river and back. They were not in agreement when I spoke up. I could swim that river and back in 30 minutes, I said. Impossible, said Korg. I can swim faster than a little whelp like thee. So it was agreed that we would dive off the cliff, swim to the centre island and return. As we went to our respective rocks, Korg took it upon himself to lecture me about all the fine points of swimming. The importance of synchronized movements of the arms and legs for maximum speed, how essential it was to breathe after only 3rd or 4th stroke, not too often to slow thyself down, but not too often to lose one's air. I nodded and agreed to all his fine points, and we dove off the cliffs. I made it to the island and back in a little over an hour, but Korg never returned. He had dashed his brains at the rocks at the base of the cliff. I had noticed the telltale undulations of underwater rocks, and had taken the diving rock on the right. But thou returned? Asked Jalhemel, astounded. Was that not then when thou escaped? It was too risky to escape then, said Zarek. They could have easily caught me again, and I wasn't keen to be blamed for Korg's disappearance. I said I did not know what happened to him, and after some searching they decided he had forgotten about the race and had swum ashore to hunt for food. They could not see how I could have anything to do with his disappearance, as fully visible as I was throughout my swim. The 2 brothers began making camp along the rocky cliff edge, picking an ideal location so that I would not be able to escape. One of the brothers, Mateus, began commenting on the quality of the soil and the gradual incline of the rock that circled around the bay below. Ideal, he said, for a foot race. I expressed my ignorance of the sport, and he was keen to give me details of a proper technique for running a race. He made absurd faces, showing how one must breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, how to bend one's knees to the proper angle on the rise, the importance of sure foot placement. Most important, he explained, was that the runner keep an aggressive but not too strenuous pace if one intends to win. It is fine to run in second place through the race, he said, provided one has the willpower and strength to pull out in the end. I was an enthusiastic student, and Matisse decided that we ought to run a quick race around the edge of the bay before night fell. Ulin told us to bring back some firewood when we came back. We began at once down the path, skirting the cliff below. I followed his advice about breath, gait, and foot placement, but I ran with all my power right from the start. Despite his much longer legs, I was a few paces ahead as we rounded the first corner. With his eyes on my back, Matisse did not see the gap in the rock that I jumped over. He plummeted over the cliff before he had a chance to cry out. I spent a few minutes gathering some twigs before I returned to Ulin at camp. Now thou were just showing off, frowned Galamel. Surely that would have been a good time to escape. Thou might think so, agreed Zarek, but thou had to see the topography. A few large trees, and then nothing but shrubs. Ulin would have noticed my absence and caught up with me in no time. Now I'd have a hard time explaining Matisse's absence. However, a brief forage around the area allowed me to observe some of the trees close up, and I could formulate my final plan. When I got back to camp with a few twigs, I told Ulin that Matisse was slow coming along, dragging a large dead tree behind him. Ulin scoffed at his brother's strength, saying it would take him time to pull up a live tree by the roots and drop it on the bonfire. I expressed reasonable doubt. I'll show thee, he said, ripping up a 10-foot-tall specimen effortlessly. But that's scarcely a sapling, I objected. I thought thou could rip up a tree. His eyes followed mine to a magnificent, heavy-looking one at the edge of the clearing. Ulin grabbed it and began to shake it with a tremendous force to loosen its roots from the dirt. With that, he loosened the hive from the uppermost branches, dropping it down onto his head. That was when I made my escape, mother, said Zarek in conclusion, showing a little schoolboy pride. While Matisse and Kurg were at the base of the cliff and Ulin was flailing about, engulfed by a swarm. Kademil embraced her son once again. Publisher's note. I was reluctant to publish the works in Marabar Sul, but when the University of Gwilym Press asked me to edit this edition, I decided to use this as an opportunity to set the record straight once and for all. Scholars do not agree on the exact date of Marabar Sul's work, but it is generally agreed that they were written by the playwright Gor Felim, famous for popular comedies and romances during the interregnum between the fall of the First Cyridic Empire and the rise of Tiber Septim. The current theory holds that Felim heard a few genuine Dwemer tales and adapted them to the stage in order to make money, along with rewritten versions of many of his own plays. Gor Felim created the persona of Marabar Sul, who could translate the Dwemer language in order to add some sort of validity to the work and make it even more valuable to the gullible. Note that while Marabar Sul and his works became the subject of heated controversy, there are no reliable records of anyone actually meeting Marabar Sul, nor was there anyone of that name employed by the Mages Guild, the School of Julianus, or any other intellectual institution. In any case, the Dwemer in most of the tales of Marabar Sul bear little resemblance to the fearsome, unfathomable race that frightened even the Dunmer, Nords, and Redguards into submission, and built ruins that even now have yet to be understood.
In blood and fear. Sweet
cheese,
mother,
lavender,
mother, send your
extra,
child unto me for the sin
frost salts,
you must be baptized
flagon,
in blood and fear.
pitchfork,
Sweet mother, send
baskets,
your child unto me for the sins
bucket,
of the unworthy must be
pot
baptized
ladle,
in blood and fear.
mead, salt, leg of goat, cheese,
for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and
and
fear.
card, pot,
Sweet mother,
firewood,
send your child
firewood.
unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear.
It's not much of a place, is it?
Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear.
He's really into this, huh? Does he do anything else with his day?
Grelod, you old crone, you'll get what you deserve. The Dark Brotherhood will see to that.
Alright, I think it's time to interrupt the
Grelod,
party.
you old crone, you'll get what you deserve. The Dark Brotherhood will see to that. Please, how long must I do this? I keep praying, Night Mother. Why won't you answer me?
Let's ruin his black sacrament.
Sweet mother, send your child unto me.
Okay, he's
for
got
the
a
sins
book
of
called
the
A
unworthy must be
Kiss, Sweet Mother, which no prizes for guessing what that book's about. Is it a book we have read before? No.
And blood and
Alright, let's read it, because it's going to be pertinent to what we're about to do.
very tired.
Poor guy. A kiss, sweet mother. So, you wish to summon the Dark Brotherhood? You wish to see someone dead? Pray, child. Pray and let the Night Mother hear your plea. You must perform that most profane of rituals, the Black Sacrament. Create an effigy of the intended victim assembled from actual body parts. Which, somehow this kid managed to get a hold of that. Including a heart, skull, bones, and flesh. Encircle that effigy with candles. The ritual itself must then commence. Proceed to stab the effigy repeatedly with a dagger rubbed with the petals of a nightshade plant, while whispering this plea. Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. Then wait, child, for the dread Father Civis rewards the patient. You will be visited by a representative of the Dark Brotherhood, so he begins a contract.
Die, Grelod, die! Die, Grelod, die!
Grab that human heart. Grab that human
Please,
flesh.
How long must I do this? I keep praying, Night Mother. Why won't you answer me?
He's still stabbing the thing.
Grelod, you old crone. You'll get what you deserve. The Dark Brotherhood will see to that.
Alright, Aventus. What are you doing, mate?
Grelod, you'll... Finally! My prayers have been answered!
Hey, wait a minute. I'm not in the Dark Brotherhood. Are you alright?
It worked! I knew you'd come. I just knew it!
Uh...
Did the Black Sacrament over and over with the body and the things, and then you came, an assassin from the Dark Brotherhood.
Kid, I don't know how to tell you this. I could lie to him and say I'm a member of the Dark Brotherhood, or remain silent. But let's be honest with the kid. I'm sorry, boy, but I'm not who you think I am.
Of course you are. I prayed, and you came, and now you'll accept my contract.
Will I? Contract?
My mother, she died.
Yeah, I read
don't know
about that.
now.
Sorry.
So they sent me to that terrible orphanage in Riften. Honor Hall. The head mistress is an evil, cruel woman. They call her Grelod the Kind. But she's not kind. She's terrible to all of us. So I ran away and came home and performed the Black Sacrament. Now you're here, and you could kill Grelod the Kind. Sorry. To be honest, I'm kind of lonely here. As much as I hated getting sent to Honor Hall, I really miss my friends there. Please don't kill Constance the Shell. She really is kind.
Are you sure about this boy murdering this woman?
I've never been more sure about anything in my entire life.
Yeah, but you're like 10.
Someone like Grelod doesn't deserve to live one more day. She's a monster.
Tell me about your mother. What happened?
She got sick last winter when the snows came, and she never got better. Not all year. One night, she fell asleep and never woke up. So now I'm all alone, and the Jarl said I have to go in an Honor Hall orphanage. It's not fair!
Hey, Ulfric Stormcloak's my leader, okay? Leave him alone. Assassinations don't come cheap, boy.
I have a family heirloom you can have. Supposed to be sort of valuable. I hope that's all right. Please hurry. To be honest, I'm kind of lonely here. As much as I hated getting sent to Honor Hall, I really miss my friends there.
Okay, man. What is that? Why can't I pick it up? Anyway. Alright, I guess we're heading to Riften, then. Innocence lost. The mother of Aventus Aratina recently died, and the boy was sent to live at Honor Hall orphanage in Riften. He thinks I'm a Dark Brotherhood assassin and wants me to kill the orphanage's sadistic headmistress, Grelod the Kind. Why in like any made-up world are orphanages always terrible places? Why can't they make an orphanage where people actually get treated well, and no one wants to kill the person leading it, no one gets bullied, no one turns evil? Just make a nice orphanage. Riften's down here, right? Yeah. We have been to Riften before. And we have no option but to do this, by the way. To complete the quest, we have to do what this little boy says and assassinate the dude. Maria?
Don't even think about it.
Alright, we talk to you. Helga?
Riften? Take my advice. Stay at the Bee and Bard. The bunkhouse isn't for you.
Thanks for the
You
tip.
looking for something or what?
Are you the only one that works at the bunkhouse?
Of course not. You expect me to take care of it by myself?
I don't even know what it
My
is.
niece Svana helps me with the chores. She'd be more help if she kept her head out
But
of
you
the
told me to
fire.
stay at the Bee and the Barb,
She's
not the
been with me ever
bunkhouse.
since her parents were killed by bandits and she was dropped in my lap. I don't know why I bothered.
Okay.
If you're ever in the market, I deal in specialty goods from Morrowind at one of the stands.
Alright, Branche.
Yes, sirrah.
You have an odd name for a dark elf.
I may be Dark Elf by birth, but I was raised Argonian.
Oh.
For reasons I'm still trying to discover, I ended up orphaned, then taken in by a kindly Argonian family in Black Marsh. I hope one day to find out what happened to me, how I ended up...
Speaking of an Argonian, do you have any... Oh, we actually have to help him. Do you have any clues about your past?
Just one. I know when I was found by my Argonian father, I was wrapped in a blanket bearing the symbol of House Telvanni.
It's one of the big
It was
houses.
one of the great houses in Morrowind long ago. Whether that means I was one of them or not, I'm uncertain. If you come across anything in your travels that might provide me with the answers I'm looking for, I'd be grateful.
I'll keep an eye open.
Thank you.
Locate a clue about Branche's past. That's pretty vague. Why were you searching in Skyrim?
I learned that a matron who had served for House Telvanni had escaped Morrowind during the Accession War. Records showed her buying passage aboard a sailing vessel.
Oh, there's
named
where I
Iron
start
Tolos.
looking, I guess.
But that's where the trail ran cold. I spent years looking for what became of the ship, but I ended up empty-handed. Anything you can find would be of great help. Good luck.
Thank you, man. By the way, I think we have to steal something from, or plant something on Branche as part of joining the Thieves Guild, I think. So, there's that to look forward to. Snilf?
Sure. I'm a dirty beggar. Why would you want to even speak to me?
Oh, that's unnecessarily rude. You do not get a gold piece, sir.
If you're looking for anything to sell for a fair price, I run the Pawned Prawn over by the market.
Alright, Bercy. Pawned Prawn. Your shop has a most unusual name.
Catchy, isn't it? In my youth, I was a fisherman. I had a beautiful ship named the Brawny Prawn. But the years have a way of creeping.
Is this going to turn into a quest?
I ended up selling that ship to open this place. Seemed only fitting to name it after her. Well, changed it a bit, I suppose. If I had been smarter, I would have kept my boat. Coming to this city was a big mistake.
Ah. What's wrong with Riften?
The question is, what isn't wrong with Rift?
Fair.
This city is corrupt, rotten to the core. No one cares about anything except themselves, and how much coin they can make off the misery of others.
I know, right? By the way, I'm about to go to an orphanage and kill someone for money because a kid told me to. Maybe you should speak to the authorities.
Authorities? Have you been listening to what I said? They're all dirty. Every one of them. The only way to get things done in this city is to keep your head down and pay off the
Why didn't
right
you
people.
leave Riften then? What's the rat way?
It's our name for the old sewers that run under the city. It used to be a huge system hundreds of years ago, but it fell into decay, just like the rest of Riften. The guild stocks the place full of thugs that aren't good enough to join, so watch yourself if you venture down there.
Yeah, we already did that.
Aye.
Aye. Brynjolf?
Okay, lad. Ready to make some coin?
No,
I'm
not
ready
yet.
when you are. Just
Aaron?
keep working.
Never seen me all this upset about
Mule?
anything.
Well met,
The city
friend.
really
How
gets
can I
me.
help you?
What happened to your blade, Grimsever? When
It
did you
was
tell me
lost
about that?
years ago in a Dwemer ruin. Without it,
I feel almost as defenseless as a newborn. I don't think I'll ever be able to find a replacement.
I could find it for you.
I couldn't ask you to undertake such a treacherous journey. It would be a fool, sir.
Well, then call me a
I
fool.
see that spark in your eye, and I know better than to warn you away. Grimsever rests within the Dwemer ruin of Mesinchelef.
You're okay, buddy.
Tread carefully, friend. Those same ruins almost took my life.
I am a Dragonborn. I can do this easily. What happened to you in Bezinshalef?
I was adventuring in the depths of the ruins when I was attacked by a massive construct. Like
Yeah, Dwarven Centurion. Been there, done that.
The Colossus struck. Grimsever was knocked from my grasp, and I was wounded badly. It was only through blind luck that I was able to crawl away from the Dwemer abomination and make my way to the surface. I must have collapsed, because the next thing I remember is Erin standing over me, tending to my wounds. Please be careful. I don't wish to be the reason for your death.
I can just reload the save, it's fine.
That it isn't this bad everywhere. Maybe one day I'll venture out and see if she's right.
Alamon?
See Balamon perform miracles with steel, eh?
I just wanted to see if I'd already talked to you. Apparently,
Leo's brought me nothing but safety and peace of mind.
The forge
And
knows the
some
difference.
lessons with the blade.
Alright. Oh,
I hope that someday this city will be free from corruption and we can all live in peace.
grab some free food. Why is there a random Imperial guard walking around?
Go fiddling with any locks around here, we're going to have a real problem. Hold on, Agag. Disrespect the law and you disrespect me. So you can cast a few spells. Am I supposed to be impressed?
Well, like one spell.
I used to be an adventurer like you. And I took an arrow.
Yep, he said the line.
You drink, you go to the bee and bar. Stay out of the ragged flagon. Stay out of the ratway.
Too late for
Whatever
that.
you need, Dragonborn. Just say the word. Why we bother to capture Riften, I'll never understand. Just look at this place. If you're looking to settle in Riften, there's a house for sale. Honeyside. See the steward in the keep if you want it. I've got a lot of... Huh?
What?
The Thieves' Guild used to run this city. Now they're nothing but braggarts and bullies, rotting to death down in their ratway. No matter what else happens, the guards will always be grateful for everything you've done. If you journey north, keep well away from Snapleg Cave.
Oh,
Damned
that's a map
Hagrid's
marker.
infested the place. I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid. If it's a bed you need, talk to Kirava in the Bee and Barb. She'll set you right. You're that one from the college. Heard about you. You could say that the Ratway is the city under the city. Dark, dangerous, and no place for decent folk.
Alright.
Staying safe, I hope. Releasing a captured dragon. I don't think I'll ever understand that one. What is it? Dragons? Citizen? What do you need? Favor the bow, eh? I'm a swordman
I
myself.
definitely do not favour the bow.
Best not go wandering east of the city. Bandits been seen around Broken Helm Hollow.
Another map marker.
By the gods. A dragon's been sighted just south of the city, flying around Lost Tongue Overlook.
Oh, there's another one.
Seems like capturing Riften is turning out to be more of a hassle than a benefit. But what do I know? This city still reeks with the stench of the Stormcloaks. Makes me sick.
Oh, right, because we gave Riften to the Imperials in the Peace
The
Talks,
slayer
right?
of the Glenmoral Witches. How can I assist you, companion? Hey, you mix potions, right? Can you brew me an ale?
No.
Now that the Empire's arrived in Riften, we finally established a launching point into Morrowind.
Oh, there you go. That's why he took
Just in
Riften.
case. Watch the skies, traveler. Trouble? There's an apothecary in town, yeah. But it's down on the lower walkway, so stay sharp if you go down there. Yes, Dovahkiin. How can I help you? What is it?
Okay. Give me the potatoes. Pheasant breast. Interesting. Alchemy. Tomato.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of meat.
Alright. Yeah, I think it's time to step into this orphanage. Dragon's Tongue. Bucket Broom. Alright, let's save just in case. Honor Hall Orphanage. Okay, we can't take this stuff.
Those who shirk their duties will get an extra beating. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Grelod.
And one more thing. I will hear no more talk of adoptions. None of you riffraff is getting adopted, ever. Nobody needs you. Nobody wants you. That, my darlings, is why you're here. Why you will always be here until the day you come of age and get thrown into that wide, horrible world. Now, what do you all say?
We love you, Grelod. Thank you for your kindness.
That's better. Now scurry off, my little gutter snipes.
Wow. I mean, I don't like advocating for people's deaths, but you can kind of see why the Aventus Aretino might not particularly like this Grelod the Kind. She doesn't seem particularly kind.
You really shouldn't be here.
Why not? What if I want to adopt a kid? You can't tell me I can't adopt a kid. What's Grelod the Kind gonna do, huh? Oh wait, oh that's just it. Table. I can't actually take any of this stuff. Okay, bunch of stocks, food, some drink.
What do you want? You have no business being in here.
Oh, interesting. Ingredients.
I'm sorry, but the children aren't up for adoption right now. You should go.
Oh, should I now? I'm just looking around. Maybe I want to buy the place. Maybe I want to cook some food.
What do you want? You have no business being in here.
Well, we'll see. We will see. Okay. The woodcutter's wife and the bearer of Markov. So she got an Ulfric book. Go to sleep. Cabin in the woods and an iron dagger. Very interestingly placed iron dagger here. Okay. Well, before we do the deed, how's about we... Well, first of all, let's cook some food. There we go. Some upgraded food should help. Let's wake up the kids, shall we? Runa Fairshield.
I'm really afraid of Grelod. When Aventus escaped, she was so mad. I got double the beatings that day.
Yeah, Grelod's not too kind, eh? Tell me about Grelod the Kind.
I hate her. Everyone hates her. She's the meanest person I ever met. Sometimes she even locks us in the room.
A room?
Constance tries to stop her. It is real good to us, but it's never enough.
Oh.
Alright then.
Which room would that be then? If I was gonna lock a child in a room as a punishment. Is it one of these? Oh, it's probably this one. Oh yeah, 100% this one. Yep, shackles, a bucket. I don't want to know what's in those buckets. But, yeah. What do you think, Samuel?
Come to get yourself a kid? You're out of luck. No way Grelod would let any of us get adopted. Especially not since Aventus took off.
Tell me about Grelod the Kind.
Sometimes, when she goes to her room to work or sleep, I slip out for a bit. A boy's gotta make a living, right?
Okay, I'll
Alright, then.
just probably keep your hands out of my pockets. Hurrah.
Please, mister. You gotta get me out of here. Ever since Aventus left, Grelod's been even meaner than usual. I swear, she's gonna kill one of us.
We'll see.
I ain't afraid of the old hag. Still.
You sounded pretty
I
afraid.
wish Constance was in charge. She treats us real good. Constance. Sometimes she gives me little snacks, which is good, because we only get but one meal.
You only get one
Late,
meal.
too, in the afternoon.
Of course.
I'm a growing boy. I need as much food as I can get.
Okay, Grelod, the case for leaving you alive is not very strong at the moment. But maybe Francois Beaufort can tell us a different
I
story.
do hope father come to get me soon. Ever since that Aventus boy left, Grelod has been so angry.
Tell me more.
Miss Grelod is... well, she's a terrible old crone. No person could be that cruel. I think she's part Hagraven.
Huh.
She only lets us out in the yard once, in the morning. And she just stands there watching us. Like I said, Hagraven.
Well, at least she lets you into the yard once, I guess. Let's talk to Constance.
You really shouldn't be here.
Well, maybe I should. Is Grelod always like that?
Sadly, yes. Even the townsfolk have taken to calling her Grelod the Kind. Her very existence has become something of a running joke. Grelod runs this orphanage because she's old and set in her ways and doesn't know any other life. These children need love and comfort. I try, but I'm sorry. You should go. The children aren't up for adoption, and it's cruel to get their hopes up. Besides, Grelod hates visitors.
She's gonna hate this visitor in particular. I know you just told me no, but could I adopt one of your children?
I'm sorry, no. Grelod is the headmistress here, and she's decided not to allow any adoptions right now.
Okay.
I wish
Hold that
things were
thought,
otherwise.
Constance.
All of these
Just
children
1
deserve
minute.
a better home. But there's nothing I can do. I'm sorry, but the children aren't up for adoption right now. You should go.
Well, maybe that policy... Oh, okay, Ella. It's, how's about we move out of the way so your boy Snowflake can get past? No? Really, Ayla? Okay, let's move further in. Okay, now we can go. Well, I think it's time for a policy change in Honor Hall Orphanage. Grelod the Kind.
Nothing else. I really must ask you to leave.
Yeah. Grelod the Kind is dead. 15 gold, a book called The Pig Children, which we actually read last episode, but is obviously deliberately placed there because she hates children. Was the book even about children? Yeah, it was about orcs, not children. I do remember that. It wasn't me. Ayla, why'd you do it, Ayla? Alright.
Leave here! Leave us alone! I cannot best you! Kill one person and you can solve so many problems. I wonder.
These kids have not been taught a good lesson, though, let's be honest.
Kill one person and you can solve
When
so
Aventus
many
took
problems.
off, when he said
I
those
wonder the
things
possibilities.
about killing Grelod,
Look at Francois.
imagine he was serious.
He's squaring up to that corpse.
When Aventus escaped,
Aventus did
Grelod
it!
got meaner than ever. I really thought she was going to kill one of us. Guess not. We're saved! Yay!
Aventus really did it! He got the Dark Brotherhood to kill old Grelod.
Hurrah! Hurrah! Hooray! We love you, Dark Brotherhood!
Oh, these kids are gonna grow up to be horrible
When
people.
Aventus escaped, Grelod got meaner than ever. I really thought she was going to kill one of us. Guess
Francois?
not. When Aventus took off, when he said
dead?
those things
She's really dead.
about killing Grelod,
Kill one person and you can solve so many
serious.
problems. I wonder the possibilities. Mercy!
Oh, Constance thinks we're fighting her.
I cannot best you.
Alright, well, you just go ahead and panic. Thankfully, Ayla's not going after her, because Aventus specifically asked us to keep Constance alive. But yeah, so for some reason, killing Grelod the Kind does not actually incur any bounty, even if someone sees you. So, yeah. And by the way, because this is like kind of a Dark Brotherhood quest, I guess. Actually, we'll talk about this a bit later. Let's go back to Aventus first of all, and report success of our I don't know if you could call it R, but the Dark Brotherhood's mission. Saber cats aren't so tough. Hello there?
The Imperials think we need their laws.
May the gods watch over your battles.
Alright, Burn Wolf. Cool. I forget. Windhelm. Yeah, Windhelm's a little tricky to navigate sometimes. Just don't remember. Like, the places in the town don't stick as much compared to other towns for some reason. Well, good thing Mr. Aretino didn't lock up.
Well, Grelod the Kind. Is she, you know?
Yeah, you probably could have done it. She was very easy to kill. Grelod the Kind is dead.
Aha! I knew you could do it. I just knew it. I knew the Dark Brotherhood would save me. Here, just like I promised. This should fetch you a nice price. Thank you. Thank you again.
Alright. Innocence lost completed. Why does this keep happening? But the dialogue doesn't disappear. Okay.
I'll go back to the orphanage in a while. I'll give them time to, you know, clean up the mess.
Yeah, these kids are going to grow up to be Dark Brotherhood assassins, Thieves Guild members.
I'll go back to the orphanage in a while.
I'm worried for the future of Riften.
Clean up the mess.
Even more than it already is messed up. Alright, let's have a look at this thing he gave us. The Aretino family heirloom. It's worth 100 gold. I suppose that's not bad. And I guess Aventus probably doesn't have too much use for it since he's going to go back to the orphanage anyway. Yeah, I have a feeling these kids are still going to have some trouble getting adopted, considering what they have seen and what they appear to be celebrating the Dark Brotherhood's existence. Hard to blame them too much at this point, you would have to say. But there we go. We have done it. We have completed Innocence Lost. Yeah, I guess we beat the Dark Brotherhood to it.
Been a murder over in Riften. Some old lady who runs an orphanage. Those poor children must be heartbroken.
Damn, Whiterun Guard. News travels extremely quick around here. Yeah, but well, I guess I did go to Windhelm first. Windhelm first. Before coming back to Riverwood. So I suppose it makes sense that news may have travelled about a dead lady in an orphanage. Didn't exactly hide it too well. Okay, let's put on my alchemy helmet and get to cooking.
Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red who came riding to Whiterun from old Warwickstead. And the braggart did swagger and brandish his
Ashen
blade.
grass
He told
pod.
of bold battles in gold he had
Oh yeah,
made.
it's Dragon's Tongue that I didn't have before.
But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said, "Oh, you talk and you..." Lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed. And so then came clashing.
Alright, yeah. Cooked boar meat we probably didn't have before, so we'll keep one of those. It's a lot of potatoes. It's a lot of salmon. It's a lot of tomatoes. And we don't need the wine. That's it. Nord mead, yeah, we can drop. Ingredients, we got human heart. Which, have we encountered a human heart before? I don't know. Yes, we have. Okay, so we can eat this human heart. Damage health. You would have thought eating a heart would have, made you a bit stronger. But I guess cannibalism probably kind of frowned upon. We are officially cannibals now. Yes. But that's fine. Still can't drop these black books, I guess. That's fine. Basket, broom, bucket, pot, clothes iron, firewood. Okay, I think that is all good. And there we go. We have completed the quest, Innocence Lost. We found the boy, Aventus Aretino, in Windhelm, whose mother had died, and he had been sent to the Honor Hall orphanage in Riften. But the headmistress there, Grelod the Kind, did not live up to her name and was very, very cruel. Beating the kids, locking them up in rooms, barely feeding them, not allowing them to actually get adopted. Like, what do you gain from being such a terrible person? I don't know. Clearly not a long and prosperous life. So Grelod was very easy to kill, and we did so. The orphans celebrated a little too much. I am worried about how they're going to grow up. Constance, who was like the assistant, was very scared, but hopefully she'll be able to take charge of the orphanage now. And yeah, we went back, reported it to Aventus, and he says he's going to go back to the orphanage eventually once the mess is cleaned up. Again, showing a very cavalier attitude to the loss of somebody's life for a 10-year-old child. Yeah. One thing I did want to point out, because obviously I love Oblivion, so I'm going to find any opportunity to bring up Oblivion and make a comparison. The first Dark Brotherhood quest for the Oblivion was also killing an old man that was pretty unpleasant. We had to kill a guy called Rufio, who was just like holed up. He was rude to you when you talked to him, and he was very easy to kill. And I think Grelod the Kind was supposed to be kind of similar in that respect, where he's not very nice and also very easy to kill, and no one will do anything about it if you kill them. So I just wanted to draw that parallel. But yeah, Innocence Lost is done. We beat the Dark Brotherhood to it. I wonder if that might affect anything later on. Who knows? But yeah, that's done. Moving on, in the next episode, we will be doing this quest this Radiant quest, which I believe we got, well, we definitely got from the Greybeards, which was to find the Word of Power in Fol Gunther. Yeah, so if you talk to the Greybeards, then they can lead you to words of power out in the world. And of course, we've got loads of Dragon Souls now, so we've got some souls to spend. This isn't Dark Souls, which we're going to do in the next episode and see what this Word of Power has in store. But for now, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Quick trip to an orphanage, not quite killing the other Dragonborn in the Apocrypha, but still an important kill nonetheless. Hope you guys have enjoyed. See you next time. Peace.